for joining. I'm Travis, and I, I stutter, and I first started stuttering when I was 8 years old, and got speech therapy pretty much right away, and saw a bunch of different speech therapists over the years until my early 20s. And then in my late 20s, I decided to go to graduate school to become a speech therapist, and I've been a speech therapist for a few years now. So if anyone has questions about stuttering, then please write them in the chat, and I will do my best to answer most questions that I see. And if I don't see too many questions, then I'll share some stories about my stuttering. Let's see. Hey, Travis. One question: would you like to be interviewed like you did with Sam? Yeah, I'm pretty open to interviews. So yeah, that could be nice. Lots of hellos. Do, do you stutter while you write? No. So stuttering just happens when we physically talk out loud. So our thoughts don't stutter, and stuttering does not impact our bodies, in the sense that we are very capable. So I will stutter if I read out loud, but I won't stutter if I read in my head. Likewise, I do not stutter if I handwrite, or I text, or I type. It is just when I talk out loud. What really happens in stuttering? Like, why do people actually stutter? Yeah, that is actually something we know about, but not really. We know that there are multiple factors involved, but we don't quite know what actually causes it. So there is a genetic component. So roughly 60% of stutterers will also have someone else in their family that stutters. It may be a parent or a grandparent or aunt or uncle. Likewise, stuttering appears to be neurological. So we have slight differences in how our brains function and are structured. So we process language a bit differently than most people do, and we stutter because of it. Fake or real? Very real. This is my real stutter. This is how I talk. Sometimes I will stutter on most words. Sometimes I can say a few sentences without stuttering at all. That's just the nature of stuttering. It's variable and inconsistent. Earlier, you said you stutter more in foreign languages. Did you learn foreign languages at school? Uh, yes and no. I was in foreign language classes uh, for French at first, but then I had several years of Spanish. Did I learn Spanish? No. I learned a bit, and then I traveled to South America for a few months, and I got okay at Spanish, at least as far as understanding what was being said to me. I stutter way more in other languages, so it kind of discourages me from wanting to talk more in those other languages. Is there a different type of stuttering? Yes, and well, I mean, yes. So there are three main ways that people stutter. There's repetitions, la 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 la, like that. There's prolongations, like that, and there's silent blocks, like that, where you try to say something, but there's just no sound that comes out at all. Now, with those three ways that we can stutter, it's kind of different per person. We all kind of grow a bit differently, and our stutter presents itself a bit differently as well. Some people may stutter in just one of those ways. Some may do two or three of those ways. Hi, Travis. I'm Tilio from Italy. I'm a stutterer too, and I was wondering if you're trying to control your stuttering a bit, or if you've deliberately decided not to control anything. Great question. So when I'm recording my videos and my live streams, I don't use techniques. When I'm in my everyday life, I sometimes do, and I sometimes don't. This past year, I've played around a lot more with stuttering openly as a way to build my own acceptance. Because if I keep trying to hide my stutter or use strategies to speak fluently, then how could I ever really accept that this is part of me if I keep hiding it? But with that being said, there are totally times that I use strategies. But I'm trying to show people that stuttering is okay, and some people do stutter, and this is what it may look like. So yeah, while I'm recording, I don't use strategies. So if Sam or other people are okay with it, could you also do a live where you are interviewed? For sure. Yeah, I kind of did it last week, where I asked myself most of those stuttering questions that I asked Sam during that interview. But yeah, if there's someone else that wants to interview me, then for sure, let's go for it. You're the guy on my YouTube feed. I think I am. Do you stutter while whispering? I sometimes do. It's typically reduced for me. Some stutterers may not stutter at all when they whisper, and that's because there's less tension on the vocal cords, which allows air to pass through them from our lungs out of our mouth to create sounds. When we stutter, our vocal cords are just too tight, too constricted, so no air can pass through, so no sound can get made. Whispering helps with that and alleviates it, at least to a certain extent. From M. Hi, Travis, day 9. I answered 3 questions in class, long ones. That's awesome. You honestly make my day each time you share you've challenged yourself. So thank you, and keep going. And for anyone else who's been challenging themselves, please share with me in the comments, either of this live or on my videos, because it just makes me feel great that you're doing that. Is it harder to learn their languages while stuttering? Um, yes and no. So some stutterers will say that they stutter more in their primary language. Some stutterers say that they stutter more in secondary languages. So we don't we don't struggle to learn new things. Our mind is totally intact. It's just that sometimes when we physically speak, we get stuck. So we don't necessarily have trouble learning languages, just with speaking them. But because of that, we may be less inclined to speak openly in that language, which thereby would result in us probably not learning the language as well as we could have if we were more open to speaking it. Do you write songs? I used to, actually, but it's been a while since I've written my own songs. But if people are interested in what my singing voice sounds like, I do have one video posted on my page with me singing, and I think it's in a playlist called "Singing," actually, so you can find it quickly. Do you have a stutter in your dreams? I do. I dream all the time, and pretty much I always stutter in my dreams. Um, and I have asked friends if I stutter in their dreams too, and most of them say yes. Hey, I stutter too. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining. What types of stuttering do you have? So I mentioned earlier that the three types are repetitions, prolongations, and silent blocks. For me, it's mostly repetitions and silent blocks. Um, Rarely will I get prolongations. That's just me. I've got some friends who will mostly stutter in prolongations. Do you know you'll stutter before you stutter? So most of the time, yes. You can typically feel that you'll stutter 1 to 3 words before you say it. It's not a guarantee. You don't know how long you'll get stuck for. You just kind of know that you'll get stuck. And sometimes I feel like I'll stutter and then I don't, but that's less common. And sometimes I will not know that I stutter or won't feel like I will, and then I do wind up stuttering. So you can kind of feel it sometimes, but it's not always 100%. I don't stutter, but but I've seen your clips, and I like hearing you encourage people and yourself. Thank you. Um, yeah, that's my big goal is to encourage people to get out there and talk and challenge themselves with whatever is difficult in their lives, and to spread some stuttering awareness and education in the process. I have a stuttering problem too, and it's very frustrating, especially when my job is primarily on the phone. That would be tough. Yeah, phone calls are terrifying for me because quite often people think that the connection is bad, and we're breaking up, and sometimes they hang up on me. But the connection is fine. I just stutter. So something that could be helpful is letting them know right off the bat that you stutter, and that they can expect some pauses. Um, good luck. Thank you. You're such a huge inspiration to me to do these daily challenges. Thank you. That's really sweet, and I'm proud of you. What is your favorite genre to play and sing? Probably indie, and alternative music. Um, I I I I love soul and blues type stuff too. Um, but but typically indie and alternative. Uh, where are you from? From outside Philadelphia, in the United States. If I may say, it seems like your silent blocks have almost disappeared during this period. I have definitely noticed a reduction in them over the past 5 months ish. Um, yeah, I I still have them, but it's been a lot more repetitions. And when I do have silent blocks, it's for a shorter duration. And I think part of what's been helping is going out and talking on a daily basis and doing live streams and just letting my stutter out and talking regardless of if I stutter or not. I think it's been helping. Yeah, I'm honestly shocked by it and very stoked. Hey man, it's my first time in your live stream, and I understand as I also have a stutter, but not that severe. But I stutter with normal conversation, and sometimes it's embarrassing. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Sometimes it doesn't feel good because we have something that we want to express, and a lot of people are used to hearing things a certain way, and getting their information instantaneously. And since we stutter, we talk differently, and it takes us longer. So by default, we feel different. Um, well, we are different, but that's okay. Um, but yeah, good luck to you. Hey Travis, when will you be visiting Los Angeles? Ooh, I don't know. What's the occasion? Let's celebrate something. That singing video is awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out, and we'll be posting more of those to keep showing that we may stutter when we talk, but most of the time we can sing without stuttering. So if anyone has any song recommendations, then let me know. Does your stutter calm down if you do something certain? Well, we're more likely to stutter more if we're tired or stressed or anxious, or if there's time pressure. things like that. So so if I'm more relaxed in general, then typically I will stutter a little bit less, but it's not a guarantee though. Do you sometimes feel bad when you stutter while talking to other people? Yeah, for sure. I I wish that I didn't stutter. It it doesn't feel good. I feel less confident. I feel like I take up too much of your time. I feel like a burden at times. Um, so I do feel bad. But I'm working on how I view myself and my stutter. I recognize that is part of me, and I accept that is part of me, but I still don't like it. I appreciate your effort to spread awareness, man. Rooting for you. Thank you very much. How does it feel? Does it hurt to stutter? Not necessarily. So when we stutter, there's a buildup of tension that's in our throat, and so we we feel our body tensing, and it often spreads to different parts of our bodies as well. And while we're stuttering, we can't breathe. Our breath is being held for us. We don't want it to be held, but it gets stuck. Um, so because we can't breathe, um, I kind of feel it in different areas. So like in my back, it it does kind of hurt when I stutter a lot because of that breath holding. And then once we finally get our word out, we often have to pause and take a new breath because we no longer have air in our lungs. So it's not necessarily that that it hurts, but there is discomfort when we stutter, and it's always this is always what it's like. It is exhausting physically, mentally, and emotionally. Hello, fans from Taiwan say hi to you. Thank you very much. Are you married? Nope. Uh, I don't believe at all that people can think that we stutterers are less intelligent, but I think that sometimes it is necessary to highlight stuttering more. Dot dot dot. Um, yeah, so research shows that stuttering does not negatively impact intelligence. In fact, more stutterers are are labeled in the genius category. The non-stutterers, maybe there's a correlation to something else there. I don't really know, but stuttering does not negatively impact intelligence. Is stuttering commonly comorbid with any other conditions? Not necessarily, not that I know of. It's possible to have a disorder and also stutter. It doesn't mean that because you have one, you will also stutter. Um, I don't know if there is something that makes you, or if there's one disease or disorder that makes you more likely to stutter as well. I will look into that. Are there any other physical effects of stuttering, like teeth grinding or fist clenching? Yeah, this varies per person, and those behaviors are called secondary behaviors. So like we kind of start doing these behaviors as a way to not stutter, and then they just become these bad habits that are difficult to break. So for me, I will sometimes close my eyes, and my head will nod sometimes. Sometimes I will clench my fist. Not always. Um, Different stutterers pick up different behaviors. Um, yeah. You're a great moderator, E squared. Yes, she is. She's awesome. Oh, people are commenting that I have a wife. I do not. I have a girlfriend. Um, we are not engaged and not married. Um, but one day. I was wondering if you sing. I love singing. I don't stutter when I sing. That's why I love it. It is a relief to be able to to verbally communicate without stuttering. Um, and so I love singing. Sometimes I can hold a tune. Sometimes I can't. Um, I'm just a mediocre singer, but it's fun for me. Hi, I also have a stutter. Is there any cure for it? There's not. There's no cure for stuttering. Most people who start stuttering will start between ages 3 and 6 ish. Um, Now, 80% of those kids will stop stuttering within that first year. And that's regardless of, of speech therapy. So, 4 out of 5 kids who start stuttering will stop. We don't know why. The remaining 20% of us that keep stuttering uh, will stutter for life. There is no cure. There are strategies to better manage your stuttering. So you will stutter a bit easier. Um, so there's less tension, less force. Typically, your stutter is reduced, but no strategy is 100% guaranteed to work all the time. Um, so no cure. I wish that there was. Do you know if there are different rates of improvement in stuttering with therapy, depending on whether the stuttering is acquired from a TBI as opposed to just natural neurological occurrences? I believe that if you acquire it later in life from a TBI or stroke, you are more likely to recover from it. Maybe not 100%, but it may be reduced. I believe that's true. I will look that up for clarification. If you don't mind me asking, have you ever been in speech therapy? Yes, I've seen about a dozen different speech therapists over the years. Travis, you're such a kind-hearted person, and you should realize the impact that your videos have on a lot of people. Please keep uploading your journey, and from the bottom of my heart, I love you. Thank you, Sunny. That is a, a, a very kind message. Thank you. I will keep posting these videos. I don't often watch your channel. Sorry. Something that I know helps with it, and I know it helped Ed Sheeran find a song you really enjoy. Try to learn it. Keep in mind, I don't know if yours can be fixed. So you know it helps, but you don't know if it helps. Yeah, I know that worked for Ed Sheeran. If I'm not mistaken, his stutter started after surgery. I could be wrong on that, but perhaps his recovery was inevitable. It's possible. I sing all the time. I rap sometimes. Yeah, just because we can do that does not mean that we will stop stuttering. I heard that it's your brain thinking faster than you are. Well, actually, that's true for all of us. It's not that I stutter because my brain moves faster than my mouth can, because like that's what your brain does too. We're humans, and our brains are like supercomputers, so they can think super fast. Um, so yeah, my brain moves faster than my mouth can, but that doesn't mean that's why I stutter, because everyone's brain moves faster than their mouth can, and most people don't stutter. Hey mate, thank you for your videos. They have educated me so much on how to be patient, and how to improve my customer service skills when talking with people who stutter. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, John. That's awesome. Hey Travis, so just have to be a little patient. So what? You're great. Thank you. Do you have pets? If so, do you stutter when you talk to them, or when talking to their people's pets? So I do not have pets. I'm not a pet person myself. Most stutterers, if they're talking to a pet or a baby or they're alone and by themselves, their stutter typically is reduced. Sometimes they won't stutter. Um, when I'm by myself and I talk out loud, I still stutter. Typically, it's reduced though. I also have a stutter, but it's mild, but it comes out more in public settings, which is annoying with family or familiar people. I'm less affected. Do you also experience this? Yes, if I am more comfortable with the person, sometimes I stutter less, but sometimes because I'm comfortable around them, I'm more willing to talk more, and because I'm speaking more, I will stutter more. Um, so yeah, it can go both ways. Travis reminded me of a time I had a substitute teacher, and he had a really bad stutter. I was sat right by the desk, and the entire class was laughing while he stuttered, and I felt really bad. Yeah, that is really tough. Um, Yeah, I've been laughed at loads of times for it. It never feels good. So that stinks. I got bullied today. I'm sorry. Typically, people bully because they've got something going on with themselves or their own lives that they don't know how to confront it or handle it. So they take it out on someone else. Um, so probably you were not bullied for something personal. This person, yeah, they're probably struggling too, and they were wrong to take it out on you. Sorry about that. Hi, I have a sister who stutters, and I am wondering what to do when she is trying to say something, but gets too frustrated and ends up not saying anything at all. Should I act like it never happened? So I am not your sister. I can share what I would want, but I would recommend just asking her and saying, "Hey, I notice sometimes you get really stuck on a word, and that seems frustrating, and then you stop talking. Uh, what would you like me to do when that happens?" And then if she doesn't really have an answer, then you can kind of like prompt her and say, "Do you want me to guess words for you? Do you not want me to? Do you want me to wait patiently while you try to get your words out?" Um, I'm sure that she has her own preferences. Maybe she's not super comfortable talking about them, but at least she knows that she can come to you uh, and talk about it when she's ready, since you started that conversation. Good luck. Um, I felt even worse, though, as I have a mild stutter, but it only occurs when I'm talking out in front of a lot of people, or in a new setting, which was really bad when I was in Spain, as I stuttered in Spanish. Yeah. Um, Maybe share with your sister how your stuttering makes you feel. So sometimes you get stuck and frustrated, or embarrassed, or whatever it is, and you can resonate with her a bit. She can resonate with you a bit, and hopefully a stronger connection gets built. Why do you speak like that? Uh, Also, I'm not trying to be rude. So I stutter. This is how it presents itself. So my words will sometimes get stuck. Try to tap your finger on a desk or table. Yeah, so that is a bad strategy. So I was taught that when I was a kid, to tap on my hip when I would talk, um, to hopefully build a bit of a rhythm to help get my sounds out. For a short time, it kind of helped, and then and then it would stop working, and then I just keep tapping, and that is a tough habit to break. So then I'm talking and stuttering, and now I'm tapping, and maybe it's not so noticeable for most people, but some people will notice it, and that is totally how these secondary behaviors start, like with me closing my eyes when I stutter, or nodding my head. They can get severe and very noticeable. Hey, Travis, sometimes when I speak with others, I occasionally stutter, but most of the time I can speak without stuttering. Will it get worse over time? I don't know. Um, I don't think there's any way to know. Um, it'll it may happen, or it may not. Um, but good luck though. Do you stutter while dreaming? Yes, I do. Yeah, I dream all the time, and always I stutter. Uh, Thank you for sharing. I struggle with stuttering as well, and all though it's not onset all the time. It is hard. It is a hard thing to live with, and I thank you for sharing. Thank you. Um, yeah, and good luck. It is challenging, that's for sure. Thanks for teaching me to not finish a stutterer sentences, as I do it in general for everyone. I blame it on ADHD. Yeah, many stutterers prefer when people do not guess their words for them. Um, it doesn't feel good because it happens all the time, and when it does happen, it discourages us from wanting to keep talking, because why would we if you keep jumping in and talking for us? Um, so yeah. You are absolutely amazing. Never stop being yourself. Thank you. I love your videos. They remind me whatever I'm going through, someone always has it worse. I, I, I can't tell if you mean that in general, or if you will watch my videos because you think I have it way worse. So that's kind of funny to me, actually. I am a receptionist, and it happens to me a lot lately. When do you know when you start to develop it, or is it a born symptom? Um, so uh, it is possible for adults to develop a a a stutter as an adult. It is exceedingly rare, but can happen. So I don't really know your situation. I don't know what your speech used to sound like or currently sounds like. So I'm not really sure how to help. Um, but the vast majority of stutterers will start in childhood. Um, yeah. Uh, Travis, how specifically from your life experience would you teach us all to be more aware and to be kind to people who may stutter? I want to learn. Well, in fact, my video today is um, oh, it might be yesterday's, but it's either from today or yesterday. I was out in public and I talked to this guy at the gym, and he handled my stuttering perfectly. He waited patiently. He did not guess my words for me. He maintained reasonable eye contact. He just treated me like a person, like anyone else he would talk to. So that's my recommendation right there. It's been happening. I'm sorry. I've been having the problem lately with it. It has never happened to me, and now it's affecting my job position. Might lose my job. I would definitely go to a speech therapist then. If this is something that is totally impacting your life, um, then seek out some help. And in the meantime, talk with your boss and share, hey, I don't do this on purpose. This is just how I talk. It may take me a few extra seconds to get my words out. That's it. Um, so I would share that. Do Steve Harvey's technique. He said, say the word to yourself 3 times before talking to someone. Yeah, that is wrong. Well, that's what he says, but it doesn't work like that. So so stutterers know what they want to say always, and they know how to say it. It's just that our bodies physically block us from getting our words out sometimes. So pausing to say the word in our head 3 times before saying it, it it doesn't do anything. We all already know what to say. Now, what he has stumbled upon, but not on purpose, is what may help by doing that is the pauses that you put in your speech. Um, so those pauses will break up your typical speech pattern and possibly reduce your stuttering. Now, that is not what Steve Harvey says. Um, so he is misguided in what he recommends. How was school growing up with the stutter? Kids are very mean. I hope as the years went on, people were more understanding. Um, School was pretty terrible. I hated my stutter and let it control every aspect of my life. I pretended to be shy, um, uh, because I didn't want to talk and stutter and get laughed at or be viewed at as differently, um, or as different. Um, I would not talk during class unless I knew I wouldn't stutter. Um, I would not do presentations. I hated school. Um, it it was hard to build good friendships because I was so self conscious about stuttering that I wouldn't talk much. Hi, Travis. I want you to know that thanks to you now, I, I know how to behave when I meet someone stuttering. Thank you. I, I, I feel you've made me a better person. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I'm not trying to be rude, but if you can't fix your own stuttering, how can you help other people? Yeah, so there's no cure for stuttering, but there are strategies to better manage your stuttering. And when I work with my clients, I use them. When I'm recording videos, I don't use them. Um, Likewise, I know what it's like to live with a stutter, and and my clients can really resonate with that, and so we can work on building their confidence in speaking situations to where they are more comfortable saying what they want to say when they want to say it, regardless of their stutter. Um, we can't really help that we stutter. So that's how I can help other people. Oh, here is a super chat. Uh, Vettel alum for 20 and okay. Thank you for that super. Thank you. Are you also stutter when you sing? Yeah, so I can sing without stuttering, but I'm still a stutterer because once I stop singing, I will stutter again. I'm so excited. I'm glad I don't have to speak right now. I'm the only person I know who stutters. Well, you know me now, so that makes two of us. All right, I have reached the bottom of the chat. Thank you to everyone who joined. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your comments and support. I will actually be back Saturday morning, Mountain Daylight Time, with another stuttering interview live stream. So this is with a friend of mine for two and a half years now, and he is in college and he stutters, um, and I'm very much looking forward to this interview. So please join me Saturday at 11:30 in the morning, Mountain Daylight Time. All right. Thank you, everyone. Take care.